Taking a live look right now from our Atlanta News First chopper over an active fire at an apartment that was believed to be under construction in the northwest Atlanta area. This is a three-story new apartment type building, now the scene of a firefighting battle. Several crews on scene, as you can see. Smoke could be seen from the distance, from quite a ways away, and you can see just from our aerial view how high those flames are climbing, that smoke billowing out, and just the color alone. I'm not a firefighter, so I can't get technical with you, but that color alone tells you that this is really a widespread fire burning through this entire apartment complex and just ripping through the roof. Again, this is along 1315 Northwest Drive in Northwest Atlanta. We do have Atlanta News First crews en route to the scene. Our own reporter, Patrick Quinn, now on his way to this fire, and hopefully we'll be able to learn some information, get you an on-the-ground perspective of all of this as we continue to keep you updated. We are learning minute by minute how this fire started, hopefully connecting with these officials to really get a better idea of the damage. But right now I think the focus is getting this fire contained. And as we're taking a look at this, you can see that firewall that is preventing really that smoke from branching out, and as you can see, surrounding trees, obviously a concern for these firefighters. But right now, several crews on the ground. You can see a couple of firefighting trucks and that water hose just trying to contain the fire that is escaping through the roof. But there appears to be, again, that firewall that is helping out, keeping that fire contained to that area, but the damage is already so extensive. So this is something that we're continuing to follow. Again, a live picture from our Atlanta News First chopper as crews try to contain these flames, bring down this blaze, and then they'll be able to really survey and get a better idea of the extent of the damage that's already very clearly so visible. All right, thank you for your patience with me. I stepped away just to get you another perspective of this fire and what's going on here. Again, I want to reiterate, we are learning information minute by minute. We're in contact with these fire officials who are responding, and our Atlanta News First, Patrick Quinn, is en route right now to the scene. When he arrives, we'll hopefully be able to get you some more details on what's going on here and how this fire started. But in the meantime, I'm going to bring up this map, and I'll keep the live picture of this fire going as we talk about this. So let me switch my cursor over here. This is kind of the area of where this fire is currently taking place. I'm going to zoom out a little bit. This is Northwest Drive Northwest. Again, it's along 1315 Northwest Drive. And you can see the surrounding area. You see the trees. That's most likely that's Cary Park area. And there's a nearby church from what the map is indicating. So this is a neighborhood with a lot of communities, a lot of forestry, and not really a good place for a fire to be taking place. There's really not ever a good place for a fire to be taking place, but a lot of trees, a nearby church. So I know those firefighters are working their best to contain it. And as I mentioned earlier, there is a cement firewall that is currently appears to be helping the situation and containing those flames from expanding into that forested area. Really, the damage to this apartment building is already extensive. We can see that before we even get the official confirmation from fire officials. But there appears to be that firewall that is preventing those flames from spreading further into that forested area, into other parts of the community and the rest of the apartment complex. Again, this is an apartment, a 3-story apartment that was believed to be under construction, and now the scene of a massive blaze. I'm going to take you back out to this map here, get you a street view of this, and you can kind of see the surrounding area right here where the apartment was and the surrounding forested area. This pinpoint is supposed to be indicating 1315 Northwest Drive. I do believe it is slightly, not in this exact area, but in this surrounding area, if you can follow along with my mouse. And then just taking a look at the surrounding community, you have the Center Hill Baptist Church here. You have a residential area, the Augusta Hills Apartments, with residents, this is their home. And further along, you have Cary Park. You have the Coretta Scott King Young Women's Center, Leadership Academy, as well as more forestry, more residential space out here. So this was, from the looks of it, an area that was supposed to be a construction site for future apartments, for furthering this neighborhood, and it's now the scene of an active fire in the Northwest Atlanta community. There's some of those firefighters. They appear to be carrying equipment towards the fire truck. Again, a lot of first responders, emergency personnel on scene, and that smoke that could just be seen for miles and miles. You do not have to be anywhere near this area in order to see this. You can tell how massive this blaze is from quite a distance. And I believe our first alert weather team is working on getting you that distance shot from one of our sky cameras. But I'll keep this Atlanta News First chopper shot up for as long as we have it, while our Atlanta News First crew works on getting you that on the ground perspective. Again, this is an apartment believed to be under construction in the Northwest Atlanta community, and now the scene of an active fire. And I do want to clarify, it is a 4-story apartment building. Again, a 4-story apartment building was supposed to be newly developed and offer a home for people, now the scene of a devastating fire. Continuing with this shot here, you can see from our Atlanta News First chopper from above, those flames really tearing through this roof, creating a dangerous situation for the surrounding area, and that smoke just spreading throughout the community. I want to bring back the simple Google map that I had pulled up here. Let's see if we can expand this view. There you go. You can see some existing residential areas. This was an apartment that was under construction that was expected to offer a home to many more Northwest Atlanta residents, but it is currently the scene of an active fire. And nearby, we talk about the Augusta Hills Apartments. That is already an existing residence for so many, in addition to the forested area that really poses a risk. However, there's a good amount of distance between the two from what we can see. And that firewall that I keep mentioning, that appears to be helping the situation quite a lot. It's preventing that fire from creeping into that later part of the apartment that is under construction, and touching that forested area, spreading to the rest of those trees and then onward, because we all know trees and fire are not a good mix. So, and you can see the firefighters really concentrating their efforts in that area, that part of the apartment building that hasn't quite received as much damage as the other three forests that we talk about. So we are going to continue to follow this. Our Atlanta News First reporter, Patrick Quinn, again, about to be on the ground, if not had just arrived. We'll be checking in with him and keeping you updated on this active situation. I'm going to bring back this live picture from our Atlanta News First chopper, giving you a full screen look of what's happening here. And you can see that firefighter very bravely standing over this flame on a ladder and just trying to get as much water over the flames as possible. All right, your time now is 2:56. Again, we first brought you reports of this fire at the start of 2 p.m. Right now we are headed into 3 o'clock, still an active scene for these firefighters who are really going full force on these flames, trying to contain this fire as smoke billows into the nearby community. And those flames are just massive. I mean, ripping through the roof, into the air, and that wind certainly not helping the situation. But you can see firefighters from both sides trying to, utilizing that water, the hose, and trying to contain the fire from above, which is a really good strategy when you have a fire of that magnitude. And looking at the rest of this apartment that, again, was under construction, was supposed to be a new apartment building, believed to be about 4 stories in the Northwest Atlanta community, now devastated by this fire, a good 3/4 of it significantly damaged, and firefighters just trying to contain this blaze and not letting it reach to that last portion that seems to be standing up tall due to a firewall that is in place. Again, we are going to continue to keep you updated on our Atlanta News First newscast at 3 with this active live coverage. Our Atlanta News First reporter, Patrick Quinn, is headed to the scene here And we'll have more information, more updates from officials on exactly how this fire started and what the active strategy is to contain these flames that are right now, as I mentioned earlier, near a residential area, near the Augusta Hills apartments, and near Cary Park, a lot of forested area nearby. So those firefighters, again, hard at work. We're going to keep you updated on our Atlanta News First newscast starting now.